you're not always going to be able to ride in the first 10 guys. Everyone wants to be there. So just realize that in order to be a well-rounded cyclist, you need to know how to ride in every position in the peloton. Hey, welcome back to the Glycogen Cycling channel. So this race was from the Intelligentsia Cup. This is actually stage 7 of the series, of the 10-day series. If you want to check out that full vlog and race recap, you can do that in the top right corner here. But basically, I wanted to make this dedicated video on a point I made during that vlog and that race recap. But I wanted to, just give it its own video because I think it's that important to, just reiterate for a beginner cyclist. So what I was talking about in that race recap is the fact that you don't want to just give up, basically. And over these next couple laps, you're going to see guys, just quitting, stop pedaling, pull off the back, because this race right now is really, really fast. You can see my heart rate's, close to 170 at this point, and that's, my red zone. So I'm definitely hurting at this point. You can tell based on the strung out line of cyclists that it's going really fast. You can see gaps opening up in front. So everyone is hurting at this point, and that's what I'm recognizing. And, just as you gain more and more experience, you learn just like based on the size and the shape of the peloton, how is everyone hurting? Is everyone, slowing down at this point? And you have to always be looking up in front of you, not just at the wheel directly in front of you. You want to look at the guys, 10, 20 positions ahead of you if you happen to be in this position. So what I want to talk about is the fact that everyone who's, giving advice to beginner cyclists are always like, just stay in the front of the race. You're going to be fine. Just stay in the front of the race. That's where you're going to be out of the crashes. You're going to be in a great position to go for a sprint or with a breakaway if you have to. And you're just going to be completely fine if you just stay at the front. And yeah, that's great advice if you can actually do that. So, I've done over 100 races. You can check it out on race results if you're interested. But, sometimes you just don't have the fitness to stay at the front of the race. Like sometimes guys might be a little bit stronger than you, and it's just, fighting for position at the front of the race is like too hard to do at that point. So at that point, what do you do? What do you do if you can't stay at the front of the race? My opinion is just ride as hard as you can. I know that's just weird, not great advice, but you can see me at this point. I'm 10 wheels off the back of this field. Everyone's still strung out, going super fast, and I'm realizing that I've been riding. I'm not training super hard. That's why I'm not having great fitness. But I know these guys aren't that much stronger than me, especially on day 7 of this 10-day stage race. So I know I can stick with these guys. I've done it in previous races in this series. So I just need to keep riding as hard as I can. And luckily, this guy came up and started to help me. But my point is, don't just give up when you are off the back like this. Wait until the guys, wait until the officials actually pull you from the race. That's when you stop riding hard. You paid for this race, you're at least, get some training in at the very least. That's the worst thing that could happen is you get pulled from the race and you had a hard 20 minutes. But what I'm saying is I never gave up. There's a bunch of guys that just sat up a couple laps ago and they're pulled from the race. I didn't stop, and now look at it. The field slowed down And I knew that was going to happen. They couldn't keep that super fast pace for the whole race. And because of that, they slowed down and I was able to catch up just fine. So the point I'm trying to make is don't be worried if you actually can't get to the front of the race right at the beginning. You may have a bad start or something. Like, just ride as hard as you can, try to fight for positions, and like at this point you can see it's later on in the race, was able to make it to the end, and they're slowing down enough here that I'm gonna just swoop up and make it to the front of the race, like with 3 laps to go. So that's just the point I'm trying to make is, don't give up if you are, off the back a little bit. Make sure you ride as hard as you can to try to catch back on. And if you get pulled, then you get pulled. But it's not always, crucial to be in the first 5-6 guys if you don't have that fitness. Like, you're not always going to be able to ride in the first 10 guys. Everyone wants to be there. So just realize that in order to be a well-rounded cyclist, you need to know how to ride in every position in the peloton. You need to know how to ride in the front. You need to know how to ride in the middle. And if you're having a really hard day or the course doesn't suit you well, you need to know how to ride off the back to be able to stay in the race. So that's just my 2 cents. Hopefully you guys have learned something from this video. If you have, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.